Okay, so when you're going to use Actively Learn, you just go to the website, obviously, www.activelylearn.com. You hit sign in. And one thing that I really like about this is that you can sign in using Google, and so can the students. So you just click that. And one of the things that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a class. It's very easy. You can just click this. You can type in the class name and the grade level. I'm going to hit cancel because I don't need a new class. You can see I broke them down by my acceleration periods as well as my guided reading groups. Now, one of the things that you can see is there's a little notification here, and that lets you know what you need to grade. This was the group that I actually filmed, so I am going to click on it. But before I do that, let me show you how you actually, so you create your group, but then when you click on it, you're going to notice that I've already put in their guided reading. Now, I don't use this all the time, but these are some of the texts that we have used in the past. So one of the things that's really nice is there's a catalog. So in here you can search popular articles, you can search by subject areas, by grade levels, even by standards, and all of this is free. So that's what's really nice. And then you have what's called your workspace. So what you can do is, let's say I want to do 7th and 8th grade, and maybe I'm working on a certain standard. Maybe we're doing informational texts, okay? And maybe I really want to focus on main ideas, so I can say done. And then what I would do is, we do actually do Night by Elie Wiesel. That's one of the novels for the district. So maybe as a paired text, I might want to do this. So I just would say add to my workspace. Okay, I can either stay in the catalog and continue to look at them, and obviously I would read that ahead of time. But let's say I liked it. So now I'm going to go to my workspace. When you go to your workspace, all you have to do is click on it. You can also preview all the standards and the questions. So here we go. You can just look at them. If you like the questions that are put in here, you can keep them, or you can actually delete them and make them your own. So then, when I go to my workspace, I can assign a text, and I will assign this, let's just say, to my first period. You just say next, and then you can do it to multiple classes. So maybe I just want to do literacy night or something like that, and I just hit assign, and it is already there. Okay, now I assigned Hamlet to my second period guided reading. We have some really high achieving students there, and I also let them choose what guided text they wanted. So when I go into my guided reading, here's that notification. So I'll show you how that works really quickly. So obviously there are 22 things I haven't graded yet. But what's really nice is you can look at this according to the questions. So obviously I've graded all of these questions so far, and I just have to kind of catch up a little bit from questions 24 to 27, okay? And I'm going to show you in a little bit. I was actually using this right away. The other thing that's kind of neat is when they actually go in here, students can see each other's responses, and then kind of like Facebook, they can like each other's responses or not, and the feedback is immediate. As soon as I press this, the students see it, and I actually have some of my students, I don't know if it's good or not, they kind of compete with each other. Oh, give me that advanced. What did you get? They kind of ask each other that, or they'll go in and they'll read each other's responses and make comments, and that's natural. I don't even have to ask them or prompt them to do any of that. The other thing that's really nice is you can either do it by questions, which is what I generally do, And I'll constantly hit like refresh, so it will show me what I haven't graded first. Or you could do it by student. And you could, so this is kind of nice because maybe like when you're trying to decide if you want to give them a certain grade, let's say for standard 1, you can scroll through. You can see this student has like a lot of advanced answers, maybe a proficient here or there. So maybe I would give this, oh, okay, so he's getting kind of proficient as the time goes on. But let's say he had more advanced, then I would know I have data to back up that I could securely give him a 4 for that standard. Or if you look at like another student of mine, if you scroll through, you'll see most of the time he has proficient. So I could securely give him a 3 and I have my data to back that up. Alright, so here are some students. They are actually using Actively Learn. You can have them read it silently to themselves, which I've done many times. But it's kind of toward the end of the year, and they are reading a higher level text. They're reading Hamlet. And I thought it would be best if they each took parts and they read those parts out loud. What's kind of nice is that this group is actually reading themselves, and they will sit and they will discuss the questions and they will answer them. I'm actually right behind them running another guided group, which sometimes you can see in the background, and the other students are doing independent work while the other groups are running. In just a minute, I'm going to show you how, even though I am at the back table, I am also actively involved with this group as well. So one of the questions asked about the humorous aspects in this play, and they brought out the text evidence, but they did not actually say what the text evidence means. So again, I can go back and I can just add a note. So what does this mean? And then I can allow a revision. So as you can see, Actively Learn allows students to basically run themselves. Now again, this is a higher reading group. The only difference between maybe a lower reading group and a higher reading group is that it would be more teacher directed, more verbal. It also allows for differentiation because students are able to work at their own pace if you choose not to run the group at the same time. However, if you are able to keep the students on the same question at the same time, it also allows that natural conversation between each other, and then when I check their answers, they can go back in and also get the immediate teacher feedback.